Hello, and welcome to this episode of Demystified as we explore home cooking in a modern world. Hello, I'm Linda, and I'm here again with Paul. How are you going, Paul?
Did you check in, Linda?
I did check in, and I had the big
Green
tick.
We're all about the green tick.
We are.
Yep.
Very happy.
Double vaxxed.
Yay.
Green tick.
How you been? Good?
Yeah, moved house.
Oh,
Yeah.
how awful.
The tragedy of tragedies has befallen me. Moving into a new rental.
Well, it's exciting to move into a new place and discover things that you've probably not seen in your cupboards for a little while when you're unpacking and
No, it's not so
sorting
much
things
that.
out. No?
You know what the tragedy of tragedy is?
What?
A gas oven.
Oh no, how are you going to cope?
Well,
It won't take you long, you'll get something sorted.
no, there's not a lot I can do there.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm kind of, I there's a few little tears.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, just a small batch of roast potatoes in there just to see how it went. And the dial's around the wrong way too.
Oh,
So what I would
That's helpful.
normally imagine turning it down is actually turning it up. So to turn it down, I would usually go. To turn it up, I would usually go clockwise, but this is in the reverse. So yesterday, when I thought I was turning my potatoes down,
no.
I was actually turning them up. So it's been a pleasant start.
Yeah, always exciting moving a house. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not really.
So anyway, but
Oh,
aside
wow.
from that, I very promptly set up the barbecues. So
Oh, excellent.
yeah.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
So not a great deal of cooking, to be told.
Well,
Truth
I've
be
got
told.
Well, I was going through our pots and pans the other day, and I was making lunch for
Ours
Daddy
or
and I.
yours?
No, ours at home.
Oh, okay, right,
Not,
yours.
not the cooking with steam
Yep.
ones. Oh, I don't touch the cooking with steam ones. No, but at home. And I was just making some eggs, and I noticed that one of the little fry pans I have is, I think, a Teflon surface that has now got scratches. So I thought, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
But it started the question, I know you don't here, we don't have in the cooking with steam kitchen, we have mainly steel, don't we? Stainless steel?
Yeah, I've got a couple of non-stick pans which I use for sort of travel purposes. When I go to a location and do a demonstration, I'll take a couple of non-stick pans with me, but yes.
But you don't prefer to cook in them, do you?
I don't. Well, it doesn't bother me. I don't mind them at all. I think it really is like anything. The better quality you get, the longer it will last. So I'm still yet to come across one. I mean, I've watched all the advertorials like everyone else, like what do they call them?
The diamond
crusted
yeah.
surface. The Fjord technology is one of my favourites.
Fjord technology.
Yep, love that one.
Bringing in the Scandi reference.
It's like watching ads for like makeups or makeup cleansers or foundations, or I always find biopearlescence,
Yes.
like these made up words out of nowhere that mean nothing. And it's the same thing with fry pans. So, but I'm not anti non-stick. I quite like a good non-stick fry pan.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just that you spend years and years and years in a commercial kitchen and you don't have them.
Oh, okay. Is that why?
It's for longevity, really, because they're expensive. Well, the good ones are expensive. But scratching, look, the only way to avoid it is to get really sort of anal about it, and to make sure that no metal implement is ever used in it, and it's lined with some sort of cloth or towel or something when you've stacked other pans on top of it. It's not and it's also heat over time too. I don't really know what heat and extreme heats over time does to the surfaces, because they're multi-layered surfaces, right? It's not just one layer. In fry pans, there's lots of different. Well, it depends on the fry pan, but there's lots of different layers. A lot of time you'll have a piece of copper going through it for heat retention, steel, aluminium, all sorts of different metals are used in fry pans, and I would imagine it's the same on the non-stick surfaces. But yeah, is there one that's better than the other? I don't know, really.
No, neither do I, but I noticed that the Teflon-y type ones, I've got sort of two different styles in the pot drawer, which now that you've said putting something between them, I don't do that. They just
so who does? So
jump
that's
in
the
on
thing.
top of each other. But we don't have any metal sort of scrapers and stuff. But the surface just does wear down.
Yeah.
Just cooking a couple of eggs every now and then, and it wears down. And so I thought, okay, out when I can get to the shops, I'll get another one.
Oh, that's it, gone.
Yeah, I've always heard that as soon as they start breaking up, and I could be wrong, and I'm happy to be corrected, but once that sort of Teflon-y surface breaks down, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, and it's dull, and it's now scratching, and things are coming, and I thought, no, that's not good.
Yeah, and that's not just one cook.
No, we've had it for a while.
So saying that, while I understand that, but saying that when they start to break down, it's not good for you. That's been happening for months, and you're not dead yet. So let's be.
But it's incremental.
Yeah.
That's why. So
no,
I just
because
wondered,
what actually happened is your eggs got stuck, and you couldn't get them off, and then you cracked the shits and threw the pan out.
Do you have a video in our house?
Is that what happened?
That's along the lines of what happened.
See? So, yeah. I think, it's really hard. I'm led to believe that probably it's best to not use them over extreme high heats. So on your gas burner, as an example, probably wouldn't have them sitting on there on your biggest burner on its highest setting for a long period of time. I think the probably closer you treat them to an enamelled cast iron, the better. So enamelled cast iron Le Creuset is probably the most well known. Cast iron pan with an enamel inside finish. They tell you to heat your pan gradually and gently over a longer period of time rather than crank it and try and get some heat into it quickly. Probably I would suggest, just given that you're working on a metal surface that's got a different surface on the inside of it, being the Teflon coating or whatever it might be, that's probably a better way to do it. You might get some longevity out of it like that. But it really is... So the non-stick pans I use at home are commercial. So I go to a hospitality supply store and buy mine from there.
Okay.
Because if they hold up in a commercial kitchen, more likely than not, they'll hold up reasonably well at home.
Well, I can guarantee that the one I just threw away was bought on sale, 50% off at just a homeware shop.
Yeah.
And it wasn't probably more than $20.
Yeah.
So it's probably
done
a fair bit of work for its price anyway.
Yeah. I think they're it's kind of like it's a maintenance item. I don't think anything will last forever. I think things like a cast iron pan and a cast iron pot will last you forever. I also believe that copper will last you forever.
I know you've got a nice set of copper pots.
But non-stick fry pans, no, you're not getting a lifetime out of them. So I think if you're buying them, I think you buy them in the knowledge that you will replace them at least 2 or 3. It's this kind of thing that you grew up, watching Tupperware ads and Bessemer and stuff like the only set of Tupperware you'll ever have to buy in your lifetime. And people, there used to be stories about people handing their pots and pans down once their kids moved out of home and stuff. I don't think that's the case with non-stick. I think you buy them in the knowledge that you're probably going to have to buy them depending on how good they are, but you're probably going to have to buy them every, 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone's got any non-stick pans out there they'd like us to try, see how long they last, send them along. Linda will take them home and burn some eggs
And
on
see, well, speaking of eggs, if you're doing just a couple of fried eggs, how would you do them at home?
Cold pan.
A cold pan?
Yep.
Okay.
Fried eggs, we're talking.
Fried eggs, a couple of eggs,
Yep.
you know, a little bit of toast,
Yep.
parmesan on top.
So,
it's a little bit fancy, but it was
a little bit of
nice.
oil in the base of a pan, vegetable oil, grapeseed oil,
Yeah.
something with a high smoke point. Oil in the pan, cold. Eggs in the pan on top of the oil, and then put it on the heat.
That's the exact opposite of what I did. Crack the heat up, get it hot, throw in a bit of olive oil.
God, I've taught you nothing. Jesus.
Yep. A little bit of olive oil
Yep.
and a little bit of butter.
So you can put some
And
butter at the
then,
end for a bit of flavour, but cold pan,
Okay.
oil in the pan, and remember, it's the funny thing. I did a demonstration recently about sous vide for some people, and I've mentioned before putting oil in the bag for when you're sous vide cooking. It plays an important part, and someone said to me, "Oh, you know, everyone's a bit more health conscious, and you don't consume that oil." And it's similar with a fried egg. It's a cooking medium. So you're not actually consuming it. So once you take the egg out, if you just drain it briefly on paper towel, you're not consuming that oil. It's not like deep frying a piece of battered fish in oil that isn't hot enough and it actually gets sucked in to the fish and the batter and you actually end up being greasy and eating it. The funny thing with oil is that if you work with it properly and use it as a cooking medium, which is what it's designed to do, you can use a bit of oil and it's not going to, you know what I mean? Like, so when you're doing your fried eggs, put a reasonable film of oil in the bottom of the pan. And crack the eggs in cold and then put that on the heat.
Okay. Not olive oil.
Not olive oil.
Not on a hot.
No.
Okay.
And that's also a really good method if you don't have a non-stick pan. It's really the only method to do good fried eggs, to be honest.
Well, I was thinking, I have seen you know, cook up a few eggs or, you know, things for your own lunch, and you use your stainless steel fry pan, and I think there's got to be a knack to that, because I wouldn't put that into our...
So your scrambled eggs are
stainless steel
different. Omelets different again.
Okay.
Yeah, so a few of the techniques are different, but the thing with eggs is since when do you put eggs in high heat? Consider a poached egg versus a fried egg, right? Mm-hmm. Generally, you're looking for, depending on how you like your eggs, forget about how a poached egg looks, which is a little bit more like a beautiful poached egg looks like a teardrop ball sort of shape, right? And a good fried egg's nice and flat, and I think runny yolks are the way to go for both, right? A poached egg works best when the temperature of the water is 80 to 85 degrees. Yet for some bizarre reason, we're deciding that 200, 300, 400 degrees is right for a fried egg. It's the same ingredient. Yeah, it's a different technique, but it's the same ingredient. Why do we need extreme high heat for a fried egg? Since when? So if you start off cold, after this podcast, we're actually going to go in there and I'm going to show you how to do it. Just because I'm here and we can. So.
Now, I just, well, when you say it like that, sure, it seems a bit sensible, but at the time, you know, throw the heat on.
But it's one of the few
times. The toast in.
It's one of the few times that I will do something starting from cold.
Okay.
Is the only way to do it. And you baste your egg like you would a steak with some butter and some thyme or, you know, whatever. That's why you put a reasonable amount of oil in there. You spoon that oil over the egg to give you the surface a little bit more of a cook. But yeah, cold pan, cold oil, cold egg, away you go.
Alrighty. We should film that later. Put it up on Insta. See how it looks.
Well, it's a bit embarrassing for everyone else in the world that knows how to fry an egg except for you.
I think people have realised that I'm not the greatest cook in the world.
Anyway.
Let's just say that, you know.
So Dougie's cast iron fry pan Dougie's the one that I know
No,
of.
Dougie has had that one. That was a childhood.
Yeah, but
That
you can
was a
fry an egg in
hand-down
that.
from his dad.
You can fry an egg in that.
I didn't
And
reach
have
for
it
that
not
one.
stick.
Yeah. Yes. And that pan has been in Doug's family for 50 years.
Yeah.
And it still has this bit of string. I don't know when it ever hung up in the kitchen at home that he grew up in. But that is a good fry. It is really great because it's easy to clean. And then a little tiny bit of oil that I wipe on and then wipe off is all it needs.
Seasoned.
That's it.
Like
I don't do that
Dougie.
with any other...
Like Dougie, he's a
Yes.
seasoned professional.
Well, that's interesting. Well, no, I didn't know that about cold eggs. There you go.
There you go.
We've learnt something. Well, thank you.
No worries. All right.
And it's good to see you
Yep.
again.
I'll be back
So
here tomorrow.
quick. Oh, are you? I
Yeah,
won't be.
and then on Friday.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Well, happy cooking, everybody, and thanks for listening.
All right.
And
Cook some fried eggs. Better
and
than
let us
Linda.
know how. Let us know how you go with your eggs. If you have any other really egg-related stories, let us know. Take
See
care,
ya.
guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this podcast as we explore home cooking in a modern world. We'd love you to subscribe, and for more information, please go to our website, cookingwithsteam.com.